Ashley, it's really such a sad story. So those teenagers, two 15-year-olds and a 16-year-old, they come here to the cemetery to try to get away from deputies. And as you mentioned, they lead deputies on a chase all morning long, finally ending up here at the cemetery when they crash their car into the pond, all of them drowning inside.
Isn't this car just an absolute eyesore? Well, I'm glad it is, because here we are, guys. Welcome to Volume 3 of KingHawkBlox Edgy and Wrong. On this volume, we are going to be analyzing... This is going to be a two-parter. We're going to be analyzing the case of 3 girls who crashed a stolen car into a pond. Oh my god! I crashed through the drawbridge. Thank you, cop. And I'm stuck in a loop. What a great game. Anyway, I don't know how to feel about that. But anyway, this is going to be a two-part series. A two-part arter where we analyze the case of 3 girls who crashed a stolen car into a pond and tragically drowned. And what happened from it. Their families actually sued the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office for not exactly doing enough to save them. Well, I'm actually gonna try and get on this sloop, oh my god. Never thought in a million years I would see a cop use the sloop. But anyways, we're going to start off today with 3 girls inside stolen car pulled from pond. Sorry for that little distraction, here we go.
Ashley, it's really such a sad story. So those teenagers, two 15-year-olds and a 16-year-old, they come here to the cemetery to try to get away from deputies.
Gee, I wonder why. It's not like they were eluding police in a stolen car.
And they drive down this windy road, speeding down it into a pond just at the end of the street, into water 15 feet deep. Now let's take a look at those girls. 15.
You know, it's sad to hear 3 young lives were lost due to making foolish choices. And no one likes to speak ill of the dead or anything, but spoiler alert, this isn't the first time they've stolen a car. Or think of all the lives they put at risk while blowing down the highway. But they didn't deserve to die. They didn't deserve to die at the end of the day. I hope other kids will learn from this.
Year-old Lanaya Miller, Ashante Butler, also 15, and 16-year-old Dominique Battle. As we look at video from the scene, deputies haven't released the name.
Oh, that's the pond? Dear God, I can't see a thing.
Person they stole the car from, only telling us that the girls were hanging out in South St. Pete. They asked a friend for a ride to Child's Park. That friend asked another friend who owns the car to take the girls to the park. The owner agreed. On the way to the park, the car owner stops at Walmart. He leaves the car running. The girls inside get in the driver's seat.
Oh, that's the pond. That thing looks more like a swamp. It was probably so dark out in that grass, they probably couldn't see they were driving into one.
And take off. As you mentioned, they lead deputies on a chase all morning long, finally ending up here at the cemetery when they crashed their car into the pond, all of them drowning inside.
You know what this reminds me of? I can't show it because I drove off a bridge myself here, but this is like the one episode of The Office where Michael and Dwight drove into a pond, and the funny thing is, Michael straight up acknowledged he was driving into one, but like, I kind of want to question, if the girls had Dwight in the car with them for some stupid reason, do you think they would have survived? Because like, Dwight's a survivalist, he's really good to have in a crisis like that, but yeah, that's interesting to think about.
The sheriff says these girls have a long criminal history, and deputies' efforts to stop car thefts aren't working.
Having 3 teens who between them were arrested 7 times in about a year for stealing cars.
7 times? Really?
Burglaries. And on the 8th time...
And I thought Los Angeles had a ton of car theft. Boy, was I wrong.
They die. Tells us something other than what law enforcement is doing needs to be done.
Back out here live at the scene, the sheriff is calling car thefts here in St. Petersburg an epidemic. Most of the cars taken here are by teenagers joyriding.
Because their parents are too lazy to teach them any basic morals.
He says if these girls would have had tougher punishments when they committed those previous crimes, they likely would still be alive today.
No, woman. They would have been alive if Dwight was in the car with them. They would have gotten out okay if Dwight was there. Because Dwight's a survivalist, but that's a valid point.
course, we're going to stay on top of this story.
Right? That's not where the story ends, though. It actually goes a lot deeper than that. A few weeks later, it was announced that the families of those girls were going to sue the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office for apparently not doing enough to save the girls. The sheriff's then came out with this video called Sheriff Bob Gualtieri Response to Media. In it, he talked about how the deputies attempted to save the girls, but the pond was too dangerous. And he also talked about how car theft in Pinellas County is becoming an epidemic. One of the other incidents he mentioned involved 5 13 to 15-year-olds getting arrested in a stolen car. And in the last 18 months, all 5 of them were arrested 63 times. I'm serious, dude. And also, is it just me, or is it really stupid and appalling that police are expected to solve the problem of children stealing cars? When did police become responsible for raising children? That's the parents' job. But anyways, that's pretty much it for this episode of KingHawkBlox Edgy and Wrong. Next episode, we will go deeper into the lawsuit, where the families tried to sue the sheriff's office. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you never miss a new video, and leave a comment below. And shout out to Sheriff Bob Gualtieri for putting up with this BS of children stealing cars. Goodbye.